Almost missed my cue because I was getting a beer. Well, that'll happen. So it's the Richmond Gooners podcast. It's Match Day 14, Saturday, November 12th, the late window. We are at Gus's Bar and Grill. As always, I am Ryan here with Tom.
Yuck.
And with Joey.
You played to win the game. Hello?
Oh, that's gonna get mashed with the music. No one's gonna hear that.
That's really drowned out.
Yeah, it happened. It's a limited system. So anywho,
speaking of limited systems, yeah, Wolves.
Yeah, I mean they were down a bunch of dudes. I want to say 3 or 4 people injured. I'm not gonna lay too much on them, but to your point,
fuck that.
Okay, here's the thing. We came in today guaranteed to be in first at Christmas, no matter what we did.
Full stop.
But we're playing last place Wolves. You got to get a result out of that. And no matter who they put on the pitch, you still have to get a result out of that. And so you want to go into this very extended international break strong. And I feel like we did that. We did that.
And Mike Feinberg
absolutely
at Gooners Pod said we were going to lose today. Shame on you.
Feinberg.
Shame on you. Feinberg said we were going to lose today.
Feinberg, if I wasn't doing this podcast, I'd be on his wrap-up show going the fuck off as I'm about to do on this podcast.
Dickhead fan.
I got shit to say.
He's not
a dickhead. I fucking love Mike, but he got it wrong. He got it wrong.
The thing is, this is the kind of game that Arsenal late 2020, Arsenal 2021-22 loses.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Or maybe not loses, but drops points at least. Because the thing is, Wolves came out and they blocked shit up, and they were playing the counter. They watched the United game, said, all right, we'll try that.
Yeah.
And, a lesser Arsenal, a less determined, a less coalesced Arsenal would have probably dropped points there.
And let me tell you something. There are a lot of
Someone
teams.
smoked some wheat.
Yeah, there you go. There are a lot of teams that don't have the counter-attacking talent that Man United have, especially when you look at their ability to get the ball through their midfield and to their wide players, your Anthony's and your Rashfords and so on and so forth. So if there's a team that was kind of set up to beat us with that sort of pace and that sort of speed, it's United. City doesn't even have that. Yeah. Their wingers like Bernardo Silva, Mahrez, Foden, they are supremely talented technical players, but they don't have that electric pace.
Yeah, they're not Martinelli out there.
Yeah, no, they're not. And listen. I said it last week. How many games? How many match weeks do we have to end the match week on top of the fucking table?
Well,
I'm so sick of hearing about City and how they're dominant. No, I think they're still going to do it. You know what? If by now you haven't seen that there's something a little bit different, this Arsenal team is built a little bit different this year. And Magic Mike, my guy, I love you, but if you can't see that at this point, to think that we're going to lose to 20th place Wolves, I don't know what to tell you, big dog.
Well, here's what I want to say about the City thing. And yes, last week I said they have been dominant historically. Maybe not now, but
they are.
But
that was on me. I misunderstood.
That's fair.
Week. Yeah,
but you talk about you're right about the disrespect today during the Newcastle game. I don't know if you guys were. I think you were on your way here when it was happening. But near the end, they're saying a win takes them within so many points of the champions. You mean second place?
Yeah, the champions are
second place. The league right now. Yeah, the league right now is viewed as in City and the rest, and yet we're 5 points clear now.
Yeah, City. There's been 0 match weeks of this season we've gone through, and I actually made a mistake. I made a mistake last week. We've actually been through, I think, now 16 match weeks. We didn't play in 2 of those match weeks. We've now been through 16 match weeks. Now I'm sorry, I was distracted. Rebecca's okay. There we go. Let's go.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
there you go.
We're good. We got it.
You're gonna let in all that not existent sunlight.
There have been 0 out of 16 match weeks where City has finished that match week above Arsenal on the table. There have been 0 out of 16 match weeks where Arsenal have not ended that match week on top of the table. Because at the end of match week 1, we were at top of the table. We were tied exactly with City at the top of the table. We both had 2-0 victories away from home.
So we're on top because of alphabet.
The alphabet, but whatever. We were. My statement's true. They have not finished above Arsenal in any match week, and Arsenal has not been top.
I just belched into the mic. Damn it, Joey's finally got one on me.
Listen, hey guys, internet,
once last week.
Internet, do your thing. Go back and listen to all the previous podcasts and tell me how many times Ryan has belched on air.
Last week it was 0.
Last week it was 0 because it was in your mind.
No, because I don't do that.
No, because you do. See, what I did was I didn't talk about it for a while, and now you're back to fucking normal.
Fair enough. All right. Anyway,
I think with the pundits are
Ryan's catching strays here because I'm so fucking amped. I feel like I could lift a fucking car right now. You know, how
please don't flip this table. This equipment is expensive.
You know, how moms when they see their kids in trouble, they can lift a fucking city bus.
Yeah.
That's what the fuck I feel like right now.
So the naysayers are going to go
up.
with, they're going to say Arsenal going to choke it off in the spring. They always lose
and we might.
in May.
Oh,
but
listen.
Who knows that?
Listen, let me give you a preview. I'm going to use my clairvoyance here, or my soothsaying nature, to see into the future. Okay, so all right, so it's essentially a virtual certainty now that we will finish the league in a Champions League spot. There have been 0 teams to ever start as good as we've started. This is numbers. There have been 0 teams to finish lower than fourth.
Only one hasn't won the league.
Only one hasn't won the league, and that was Newcastle, I want to say, in 95, 96.
Oh, wow. And he has to go
that
get a
Newcastle,
result, and
that
we
like
would
Alan
love
Shearer,
it.
that Alan Shearer team, and they challenged for the league. It went down to the last few match weeks. There's been no team that started the way that we've started that hasn't at least challenged for the title.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and we're there.
So here's what's going to happen. Soothsayer Joey. Okay. Here's what's going to happen. Here's the movement of the goalposts, okay? So now they can't say, so now they were like, I think maybe they'll make top 4, and if they don't, it's a failure. Okay, they can't say that anymore because they're pretty sure we're going to make top 4. Oh, and then it's going to go somewhere like, now they gotta finish at least at worst second.
Yeah, or else it's a failure.
Or else it's a failure.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
and then when it becomes apparent that we can win the league, which should be right now, then it's if they don't win the league, it'll be a failure. No, it fucking won't.
Yeah, we're ahead of schedule.
If we finish second this year, that's a failure. Right. From eighth and fifth, if we go to second this year, and especially if we go to second and we quote unquote push City all the way, it shouldn't be said that, because at this point City they're
chasing us.
They're attempting to push us right now. We're 5 points on top of them. And let me tell you something. I said it last week. They keep dropping points. I'm sorry to rant like this, but the fucking disrespect. City keep dropping points. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. They have a plan A and no plan B. If Haaland is quiet, or sometimes if he only scores 1 goal, he needs to score 2 to 3 goals for them to win games. If he doesn't, or if he's quiet, they look average. Betting average. And they should look better than that because they have the talent pool to not be. But this is why I love Gabriel Jesus. He hasn't scored in 1,000 games or whatever, but
he was involved in the one today.
The work he does for the team is unmatched. There is just no one that works harder for him. He is all about the team instead of about his own individual stats. Not that I'm suggesting that Erling Haaland is about his individual stats, but Jesus does far more for the team outside of scoring goals.
He's
involved
great
in
defensive recovery today, where he was tracking back and he picked the ball off someone, he dribbled, and he also...
Show me Haaland working defensively like Jesus does.
And also Jesus, when he gets forward, he looks to deliver the ball. He's very team-minded.
He wants the best shot to be taken.
A lot of strikers get the ball and all they can think about is how can I score? Jesus had a lot of good passes, and I don't know where I saw this, somewhere on Twitter, but someone had a great comment about, okay, why is it that when Lacazette was such a team player, we discredited him?
Well, because he didn't have the quality,
and also the speed.
Yeah, Jesus is better than him.
Yeah. It's the pace and also the quality of. So Lacazette can do hold up play. Lacazette can defend.
Really good point.
However, he does it at maybe a third of the pace that Gabriel Jesus can do, and also Gabriel Jesus dribbling with the ball at his feet. Very, very few players in the league are more dangerous than he is.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. If you're a defender, you've been a defender kind of by trade, right? Fullback, right? Norman. If you see Lacazette running at you, what's the feeling difference versus if you see Gabriel Jesus running at you with the ball?
Yeah.
He is the type of player that can incite fear in an opposing defender.
Because that's the difference. Because Lacazette was great with the ball.
Sure.
He was great
Back
at
to
cleaning
goal.
up. Back to goal. Cleaning up messes.
Yes.
Hold up play. All that stuff. He was great. But
let's not speak ill of the dead.
No, no. But I'm saying Jesus. This is a fair thing to discuss because the question last year was do we keep Lacazette?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no question. Jesus is a massive upgrade over Lacazette.
He's a huge upgrade.
And I think something that
he's already scored more goals I think this year than Lacazette scored in the whole of
out of all the podcasts that I listen to, something that I wish they would cover that has not been discussed, and I'm going to break it out for us. The difference in these teams is that this current Arsenal team functions mentally quicker.
Yes.
The decisions are so boom, boom, boom. There's no holding on to it. Thomas Partey holding on to it, and then imagine like it used to be like, okay, Lacazette gets the ball, 5'9" striker gets the ball in the center of the park, and then you need look no further than Granit Xhaka. Granit Xhaka, wow.
Revelation.
You wouldn't think it's the same guy.
No, I mean, in some ways it's not.
This is like, in Platoon. Oh, this here ain't Chris. This is Taylor. Or this ain't Taylor. This is Chris. It is. He is now a box-to-box number 8 that scores goals.
Yeah.
Versus a guy that was like a Jordan Henderson. What the Spaniards called a windshield wiper. Like all the passes go this way, never forward.
Well, and you talk about
and we're so fast. Everything's just boom, 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 boom.
And like
boom.
to your point about like decision making, like you look back at guys like
bang, bang, bang.
Like Alex
All
Iwobi,
passes.
Francis Coquelin to a certain degree. Like
Iwobi has been balling this year.
He has been
moved to the center of the park.
Yes.
He's a revelation.
Finally,
right.
yeah.
But when Iwobi was in the position he was with us, and Coquelin was kind of this kind of guy to me, is guys that like they get the ball and then they decide what to do with it. But like we have guys now that know what's about to happen before they receive the ball.
Yes.
And like those guys are solid players and they are squad guys.
Yeah.
But like we have people now on another level that are already like that was the one thing. Like say what you will about Mesut Ozil, but like he had the next play in mind.
He had the vision and the foresight.
And so, like, we have multiple guys now that not only have that, but also do the work stuff that maybe a guy like him doesn't do.
We have actual footballers.
Right, and that's why we've
unlike
kind of elevated
Eric
him.
But you know what that is? You know what the difference is? It's coaching.
No, it is.
That mentality and the ability to do that, because the ability was always inside
but
these
also,
players.
it's also
that gets coached into you week in, week out.
But it's also the squad building, and like you look at guys that we've kept and guys that we've let go on freeze and other things. Like it is very much about
what the fuck is going on over here?
I'm not sure. Dave
I really feel like I'm missing something.
Dave and Patty Aranda are having a moment. But anyway, no.
I hope he knows that she doesn't like men.
She is married to a lady.
To a woman. Yeah.
Like please, Dave, don't do it.
Don't do it, Dave. Don't do it. Don't
she'll let him know quickly. In fact, I'm more worried about him.
Yeah. It's I don't know. But anyway, but no, this is not to throw shade on those guys. Like I said, Iwobi is having a good year.
Yeah.
But like, it's like we talked about like during the last couple of transfer windows. Like, is this a player or is this an Arsenal player?
Yeah.
And like we have guys now who are Arsenal players as they should be.
Whatever's going around is so good that Reece Nelson is good all the time.
That's true.
Yeah.
Man,
who else is enjoying Reece Nelson's redemption arc?
So we all three of us plus everyone else in this bar moaned so hard when he came on instead of Marquinhos last week, and yet here we are.
Listen, I said, and I might have said it on the podcast last week because Taylor has been giving me shit about this. I said I saw him warming up on the sideline, and I exclaimed loudly to anyone who was within earshot of me. I said, Reece Nelson is about as useful as an asshole right here. I'm pointing at my elbow. He's about as useful as an asshole right there. And then he came on and got 2 goals and an assist
got a brace
in 12 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, well, don't I look like a dick right now?
But that, to your point, that is the squad that has been like the squad mentality that I do trace that back to Arteta.
Yes, and then when you come on, you got to take this opportunity.
Yeah,
you got to grab it with both hands and fuck it into submission.
Now, speaking of that, like.
Fucking things into submission?
No. Speaking of taking that opportunity,
Fabio Vieira?
Yeah. So, I mean, I get why it was done.
He had one good pass,
and it was right at the goal, but he was not well. He did not play well on our side of the pitch. But I just want to
I thought he kind of grew into the game.
He sort of did, but he was subbed on and then he was subbed off. Like you don't want to be that guy.
No. I don't think that he was.
He wasn't subbed off because he was poor.
I don't think he was prepared to play. I don't think he thought he was really getting on the pitch at that time. And I think that it seems like it. I guess it seems to me. I have, how Lacazette kind of played up until about 65, 70 minutes. I wonder if it's like that with Vieira until he kind of gets into the really
gets get ready.
But listen, he is the type of player. I'm telling you, he is the type of player, and he did it today. Even if he's relatively poor or just average, if he's a passenger, Odegaard, these types of players can change a game with one moment of brilliance.
Yeah, and that's how it happened.
Yeah.
But,
he was a liability otherwise.
He was.
He was absent. He really wasn't doing a hell of a lot. And I'm probably going to look it up on Twitter. I want to watch, I guess, was it an assist? Was it?
I think he was the primary assist. I think Jesus was the hockey assist.
Jesus was the secondary or whatever.
I want to watch it back to see if that was meant as a
I think he knew what he was doing.
Or was it like a panic? Just
no. I'll give him that he knew what he was doing.
No,
but
if you see it in slow mo, it looked exact.
Yeah. But no, I mean he was poor in more coordinated.
Why are you so eager to talk back about him, Tom?
Well,
because he's been talking. I mean, he's been poor. I think 3 games in a row, and I think some other. If El Nene had come on, I would have been like, yeah, this is the right move. But I don't know. I think maybe Vieira was brought on because there are a lot of other Portuguese guys out there, so maybe
he's like a spy.
Kind of understands what they're about.
Yes,
maybe,
like he'll know what they're gonna do, and then B, I think Arteta was confident this is a team that is bottom
in the
of the
bag.
league.
Yeah,
it is.
And I think even though he came on and came off, I think getting that assist today and being involved in that goal, I think that will do him some good, especially after a few poor performances.
Yeah,
because Tom, you're not wrong. You know, there's a good point you made. I think he's had some performances that belie his level of quality.
Yeah,
lately, you know, in non-Premier League competition. Sure.
Well, and I think he's a guy who's in a couple of years is going to be something legit.
He's going to be real
but
good.
He's just not quite ready. But because he's the kind of guy that had we gotten Tielemans in last summer, would not have been a thing.
Well, I don't know because him and Tielemans are different things.
Well, but I think like on the field this year they would have like slotted a more senior guy in.
Maybe so.
You know,
I definitely think it's put it this way. It's good we have him given Emile Smith-Rowe's injury issues this year.
Yeah. I kind of forgot he existed. Honestly,
yeah.
I feel bad about that.
Well, I was watching Gareth Southgate's sort of live press conference
about the lineup.
After the World Cup squad announcement. He mentioned Emile Smith-Rowe by name,
yeah.
and he was like, you know, he was really coming on, but then he got injured.
Yeah.
You know, so if he hadn't got injured and if he kind of kept coming on, they were seriously looking at him for that spot because a lot of these decisions they made weeks and weeks ago.
Yeah.
He mentioned that somebody asked him if he talked to James Maddison yet because that was an inclusion. You could call it a shock inclusion. He has 1 cap from I think 2019 and was not picked for any subsequent team. It shouldn't become a shock inclusion because he absolutely deserves to go.
Well,
I'm happy that he's going, but he was like, I haven't talked to James yet because on a day like today, I make the priority to have the not fun phone calls first, you know. So I imagine, you know, maybe a phone call to someone like Ivan Toney or a phone call to someone like James
that's going to be an awkward phone call after today.
Yeah, well, he had it the other day. Those were the calls that he was making. Because Tony said, hey, Gareth, hold that when he scored 2 past the champions, or to some people, the fucking would-be champions.
Yeah, right.
That sit in second by a margin of 5 points, but that's neither here nor there. He put 2 past the current holders of the Premier League trophy and did it on the highest of stages. You know, that's not to discount it because I think if you know anything about the game, if you know anything about these players, I think the argument is him versus Callum Wilson. I think Callum Wilson has had a brilliant season. I just think Ivan Toney gives you something a little bit different. Also, I think Ivan Toney might be pound for pound the best penalty taker in the entirety of the Premier League. And we know about England's woes there
with the penalties.
And so you think you want a guy that's about as automatic or as close to automatic as you can possibly be without being automatic. That guy is Ivan Toney.
He could be,
and he offers a lot outside of taking a penalty, you know, taking a spot kick as well. So, I really thought he was really unlucky to miss that. But anyway, back to Arsenal.
Yeah, back to Arsenal. So swinging all the way back to the start of the game, same lineup as the last league game. You know, I'm coming around to your point, Tom, that Zinchenko has not given us much in the last couple of weeks.
Thank you.
And I mean, he is coming back from injury.
But I mean, like,
yes.
If he is picked, I never buy that argument. You know, coming back from whatever.
Didn't he have like a secondary assist today?
I don't think so.
But he took a shot that rebounded for Odegaard's first goal, I think.
If someone plays, they are expected to be 100% their ability, and I don't buy it.
It doesn't feel like the Zinchenko we saw in the first few weeks of the year, which was a revelation.
You know, okay, the honeymoon is over. This whole, like, he's the most technically sound. He made 2 really awful passes today where he was
that one that he just floated 50 yards in the air that resulted in a break. That was bad.
in the final third, he's as useful as a marzipan dildo.
That was a great line that I saw, yes.
When he gets forward, man, he gets scared. He's not as bad as Gail Clichy, because Robert Robson, my all-time favorite BBC blogger, said that Gail Clichy is like a toddler at the ocean when he sees that wave rushing in.
Just
your
run.
Zinchenko today, watch it back. He comes to a complete stop and looks around like a Sunday League player. He doesn't have the vision. He's not good in the final third. To steal one from Big Shaq, you're not good. You're not good. So, okay, he's technically sound. He can play central midfield, but he's a fucking liability, man.
I wouldn't say he's a liability. I just feel like he's not as
Kieran Tierney
productive as Tierney would have been today.
We would have had 4-0.
Against the team in last place. I don't know.
I think this is bias.
No.
And I think this is bias because you love Tierney so much. And who fucking doesn't love Tierney?
Like,
I love Tierney
last
too.
week, that was my argument. Like, are we remembering
What you're gonna say? Zinchenko didn't have 2 passes? You're gonna say he didn't fucking play in the center of the
I think all
park when
that's
he's
good,
left guy?
but saying, oh, we win 4-0 if we have Tierney, or saying Tierney should definitely be playing.
I feel like
We're on top of the league. What decisions can we go?
I'm not sitting here saying it's a stupid ass fucking thing. Like, I just would have picked
But
him.
that's the nature of complacency, is that, well, we got the result, so everything else is fine. Like, yeah, like, I may have snorted a fucking pound of cocaine, but I still got home at the end of the day. Zinchenko is a liability, and we're going to get sliced apart.
Yeah, he's done more for us than Tierney this year.
Well,
How many goals does Zinchenko have?
I would.
Did he score the winner in the Europa League? No, he fucking didn't.
I would say part of it is
Tierney has
because
1, Zinchenko has 0.
I feel like Zinchenko's been given more chances.
That's the definition of more.
That is the definition of more.
Technically,
You
but
said more.
Technically,
to my point,
And somehow I'll still be wrong.
I think Zinchenko has done more for the team.
well, because he's been given the opportunity.
You can do more than just score goals.
Like
but
more
he's
minutes?
been.
Like
I
more
guess my
minutes?
argument is he's been given the opportunities, and Tierney is not.
Sure.
And maybe like the one thing I've said this before. What I will say from having watched the documentary, Arteta makes his decisions based on what he sees in training. And to your point in the group chat, Joey, the players understand it even if we don't. So, like, I don't think Tierney's sitting here butthurt that he's not in there.
And
But
who
at the
gives a
same
shit
time,
if we don't understand it,
right?
right?
But at the same time, like, I do feel like this is the kind of game. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say Zinchenko almost cost us. Like, there were some bad passes, but I mean, we won 2-0. But I feel like, especially if you're like,
Are we gonna act like Tierney's never made a mistake before? Also?
no.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I'm just making sure.
If you're not sure
Because
that
I love
if
him,
you're
but
not
this
sure
kid's
that
not
Tierney
fucking
is
Jesus, man.
No, but if you're not sure that Tierney is your guy, maybe you give him a run against 20th place Wolves and see what the fuck happens. You know?
I do. So I think, and again, not that we're not meant to understand it, because I think we understand a lot of things that Arteta does.
Well, sure.
But I think this is a game. This is a momentum builder game. I think this, and it sounds so weird to say because it's like 20th place Wolves. This is a game that we had to have.
It's because of when it is.
We had to have it because of when it is, and because of the gift. Brentford went out here and did the Lord's work this morning. Praise Jesus and praise Brentford. Brentford did the Lord's work this morning for us, and it was one of these things. This is the type of game that last year and in years past, everyone around us loses or drops points, and then we also drop points, and we're like the last to play. Fuck, how many times have we seen that happen as Arsenal supporters? Especially in the last 5 years, right? And so this is one of those ones that it feels like one that we would have lost, or that not necessarily lost, but just drop points.
Yeah.
And no matter where they are on the table, no matter where we are on the table.
Well, because they almost snuck one in like the 40th minute.
They almost
and if
snuck
that
one.
had happened, Arsenal of last year collapses.
Yeah.
Now,
and listen,
it didn't, but
and I know people are probably gonna fucking hate me for saying this, but Saliba almost gave up a fucking goal today.
He did not have a great day.
Yeah,
and he's another player that we've anointed as this thing, and I've been saying it for so long.
He's great. He's great.
He's fantastic, but the weakest part of his game is when he is facing or running towards his own goal.
Yeah.
That is where all of his mistakes come. Now, what I think is awesome is that I know he's weak in that regard. However, or weaker, not weak, but weaker. But today was one of those defensive performances where even though that happened, you still felt like, okay, that sucks, but we're going to recover.
Yeah.
And of course, Big Gabby, who was really unlucky not to be named to the Brazil squad.
Because he's fucking 96,000-year-old Thiago Silva.
Well, it's not even because of him. It's because of fucking Bremer from Juventus. I think they sit 7th right now in Serie A with that level of talent on their squad. Yeah. I think Big Gabby has been monumentally better than Bremer. Bremer's a fine player. He is. But I think Big Gabby I would understand if he would feel really slighted by not getting in that squad over Bremer or even Thiago. But the thing is, I think Thiago Silva might captain the side at this. I mean, he's
because he's 70 years old,
and he's gonna fucking probably play as many minutes as possible in this tournament.
It's a blessing.
I don't understand
if our players don't go to international tournaments. I love it. Rest.
Sure.
Now because Ben White,
I almost hate that. Like I almost hate that I feel that way, but I'm with you, man.
Because Ben White. Ben White got named to England. I love it.
Yeah.
But every time he pulls up his shorts and I see that brace on his hamstring, and I'm thinking, fucks, don't play. Please, play Kyle Walker or...
Yeah, Eric fucking Dyer.
And I'm also happy that, how he even made it anywhere close.
Like the fraud that man has committed on English soccer. Well, to your point, one of y'all said in the group chat that Maguire
I would rather take fucking
Superman in English competition.
Yeah.
But
he is. But here's the thing: I think Southgate should give up the ghost on this. I pick people based on form and merit, and I look at club form and all this shit that he said before. Because if you have Dyer in the team, if you have Maguire in the team, and honestly, if you have Trent Alexander-Arnold in the team. That statement you've lost credibility, and that statement holds no merit. I feel like if Alexander-Arnold fucking starts over Kieran Trippier, who's been fucking brilliant this year, or Ben White, who's been fucking brilliant this year. Now, I'm not gonna mind if Ben White doesn't play, but I think it would be. I think he deserves it. He should see it as disrespect. Yeah. Because White and Trippier have been the best people playing right back this season in this league.
Yes.
And Trent has been goddamn awful. He has been so fucking bad that I really thought there was a chance he wouldn't go. Now
they should repurpose him as a winger.
Yeah, I knew he shouldn't. I knew Southgate. I think all three of us knew Southgate was full of shit when he's talking about merit and why the fuck is Harry Maguire?
If they don't win, I feel like he gets the sack, right? Yeah. Like that's got to be the case, which honestly is the best scenario.
He's got to make it to the final at least. I think to even have a chance to keep his job. I think he's got to make it to the final.
Yeah. But I think honestly he has to win,
and I think they will go non-English once they sack him.
Yeah. Well, I guess let's pivot to that. I mean, you look at it this year. And, Brazil, I think, to a lot, is the heavy favorite. And I want to say Will said Argentina. One of y'all said Argentina, maybe.
Will said Argentina.
But to me, Argentina always folds on the... Since Maradona, they have not been much.
And to me, they don't have the defensive talent. They have the attacking talent. They don't have the defensive talent.
But this is the kind of year where...
It's Belgium for me.
They have Lisandro Martinez. Well, he's slowly becoming the South American Mustafi.
Here's the thing.
But here's where I was going, though.
He's actually a really good player. United fans are doing him a disservice by trying to compare him with William Saliba. Well, yeah. They're doing him a disservice. Yeah. They're actually taking the focus away from how good he's actually been by saying the dumbest fucking statement you could say.
Well, that's United.
Saliba's been the best center back in the entire league this year. Thus far.
But if there was a year for England to have a chance, this might be it.
Sure.
Because you look at it, and Brazil, the heavy favorite, but France is down. Spain to a degree down. Italy not present.
Yeah. Hold that, Italy. Yeah. That's how we felt in 2018. Yeah. Hold that.
Yeah.
Hold that.
But, this is the year where they would have a chance, right? It's like Southgate. I think it's winner be fired. Personally.
With Southgate, really?
Yeah.
You look at he got to the final at least.
But he got to the final of the Euro, and I get that they went to fucking penalties. And what do you do?
Yeah, if Harry Kane had looked up,
all you had to do is pass the ball.
Yeah, square. Was it Sterling?
No, Harry Kane.
No.
Who was it open?
Was it Sterling?
Yeah,
I thought so. Yeah.
But
I mean, was he looking at an empty net basically?
No.
Or is he looking at the whites of the keeper's eyes?
The smart play. But every game ain't gonna pass the ball.
But yeah, I mean that's where we are.
Harry Kane, he can't pass the ball.
He's like retarded Michael Caine.
That was like a mixture of Harry Kane and Harry Redknapp.
We choose the term
Nico
delayed
Crenshaw
success.
is a great little player. I bought him at 17 clubs I went to. Ben Johnny, great player.
Anyway, so let's swing back around to us. Midweek League Cup game. the Carabao milk, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Carabao, yeah. Didn't see
You
it.
know, that result was not what we wanted, but at the same time, we rotated, 7, 8 guys?
We made 10 changes.
10 changes? All right.
From the Chelsea game.
Right.
Yeah.
So my question is...
I heard Emmanuel Frimpong played.
Jeff was resurrected.
Is it time for obscure Arsenal play? I heard Nico Yanaris was on the bench for that game.
But
Ignacy Mikel was around for.
So here's my two questions. My kind of two different angles of it. Like, I'm gonna sit here and
Armand
say
Traore?
I don't really care. Right, like the League Cup this year. Like,
I thought you were going to make a different argument, bud.
Well, there's two.
Okay.
So there's two.
Okay.
So I don't care that we're out of League Cup. Number one, because after the World Cup, the fixture list is going to be fucking crazy.
True.
So I'll pass out of that competition. Like, normally, isn't the first FA game before? Like now?
Yeah, it's all fucked up because of this.
Yeah, the World Cup is fucking everything up.
Dumbass fall winter World Cup.
Yeah,
So,
another reason to hate Qatar 2022.
Exactly. So there's that. So, like, I don't care about missing the competition, but what I do care about is that a lot of our second choice guys were shite. Now, like, I get that, like, we're not going to have all of them on at once.
Yeah.
But you look especially in midfield, and like Xhaka today going down with what I hope is the case of diarrhea or something. Like, what do we think even happened? Like, he was sitting there squatting, right? So it can't be like a leg thing.
Do you have a take on this, Tom?
I thought it was an injury. I thought it was a legit hamstring or something like that.
But like, you couldn't squat like that if it was.
You never know.
It looked like that at first, and because my heart sank.
Yeah.
I don't think it was anything like the shits, because if he has the shits, they know about that before they get out there. And if he did have the shits, shit yourself and play.
Marathon runners do it.
Was it Matt Letizia? Who was it? Who shit their pants?
Or Reservoir Dogs. Reservoir Dogs when Lawrence Tierney's like, well, in that case, you just shit your pants and dive in and swim.
I do think he was ill. I think he was probably
the Jägermeister.
God, Chip just walked in.
Jesus!
Oh, don't get his attention.
Don't engage.
For those of us that don't live in Richmond, there's a guy, and
the instigator has arrived.
He's a Philadelphia fan, and we turn him into an Arsenal fan. And when he comes in, he drinks a lot of Jaeger, and he buys you a lot of Jaeger,
whether you want it or not.
So like Medusa turns you to stone.
Yeah,
he turns you to Jaeger vomit.
He turns you into Jaeger.
You know how people are 70% water? When you're around Chip, you're 70% fucking Jaeger.
Yeah.
He has made it his personal mission to see how, and I fucking hate Jaeger, and I've told him this much.
Yeah.
And it's his personal mission whenever he sees me to see how much he can.
I
was going to say something, but it would have been a massive pause. How much Jaeger can you
I took a shot on Wednesday of Jaeger in his honor. So
who wants to drink something that tastes like cough medicine and fighting the police? That is what it tastes like.
Yeah, Jaeger tastes like black licorice and bad decisions. Is what it just.
You know, when someone says someone has to take a shot,
it tastes like sadness and loneliness. Like,
well, that's why I drink it then.
Sadness and loneliness. I think that to me is scotch. That is.
Let's just each do a regular.
What's happening?
We're doing a picture?
Are we?
Yeah.
All right, fine then.
Can I get on?
Apparently, Tom and I are getting wasted tonight, so that's happening.
Can I have some beer, you guys?
Sure. Just someone made a remark earlier that if you order a pitcher with me, I drink 2/3 of it.
No.
And at the end of the night, it's like mathematically, you get a third. I'm the one that fucking. I was like Cookie Monster was like, oh, beer.
And yet I kept I have held my own in both our pitchers for the record.
You did what?
I've held my own.
Oh, fair enough.
No,
I'm not even saying anything. I'm just kind of egging him on.
No, it was. I want to say it was Steph who made the joke. Actually, you don't get pictures because you drink it all. But no. So yeah,
that's all for me. Yeah, let's get a picture, Ryan. Gulp.
He goes to the bathroom and that picture has this much beer in it. Like,
and
what
yet,
the fuck, man?
Look, I can keep up. That's all I'm going to say. So yeah, I mean, looking at the transfer window coming up, honestly, we're 2 league games away from the transfer window at this point.
Yep.
You know, I
We
think
got Boxing Day and then
the New Year's Eve. I think.
Do we play Southampton this year? Please, no.
I think actually we do.
Fuck's sake.
Hell.
We lose every time we play them, like in the festive period or in between Christmas and New Year's. It's like
I've sat here.
Death taxes and we lose to Southampton in late December. Like
I've sat here.
Oh, you know, it's not too bad. It's West Ham and then Brighton and then Newcastle and then Tottenham and then Man U and then Everton. That's an interesting.
That's a rough run.
That's
let me tell you
slightly
something.
rough.
Brighton is no easy task.
Well, we already lost to them last week.
Yeah.
Or this week.
And in the league, they're going to be no easy task.
Yeah. They're sixth, or they were sixth as of this morning.
It'll be better when we haven't made 10 changes from like our best squad. But let me tell you something. Brighton are no joke. And to that, to that end today, it's not easy to go to the Molyneux and do what we did today.
Yeah. Well,
it's not easy to do. I don't give a fuck werewolves on it. It's just not easy to do.
I mean, last year this time, Martinelli was getting sent off for his little 2 consecutive yellow shit.
Oh, that's right.
You remember that?
It was just insane. It was insane.
I lost my entire shit when that
Insane.
happened.
So
I've never seen something like that.
I would
before.
still like to see the PGMOL.
Yeah, it's like
The
here's
panel,
why.
a lot of them.
Address it. Address it.
Put them all in here and like individually, not even in the same room. Individually, I want each of you to give an answer, and then we're going to compare answers amongst the
and then bring out a firing squad. Because what the fuck?
And then we barricade the doors and fucking set it on fire from the outside.
They have no. They're never forced. They don't have any accountability, right?
Right.
So if
the minute anyone complains, you're the one like boom, 50 grand because you said something.
So if Arteta, if we went and lost 2-0 at 20th place Wolves today, and Arteta's got to get in front of those cameras and he's got to fucking just eat that shit. He's got to eat that shit, right? Hey, listen, I got it wrong. That's why he's got to fucking go out there and face that.
Right.
The refs can make the shittiest fucking decisions,
and no one can say shit.
They don't have to face shit. They get to write in their little referee's report, turn it in, no one, it gets filed away in a drawer somewhere, no one ever fucking sees it, and then they just
There's
get to
no
go
accountability. Mike Dean was allowed to retire honorably last year.
The only moral hazard is you might get sent down to the championship.
Sure,
But they'll be back eventually, and it's a statistical fact. All the referees are middle-aged white men from the greater Manchester area.
Like 70%.
It's wild if you look at a map and look at if you look at where they're all. It's wild.
I felt like Stuart Atwell got it 80%
He did.
correct today.
Honestly, he did a good job today.
He was okay.
He let at the same time he let them play, but also like he caught the bullshit. You know.
Although I do feel like Traore could have been sent off today.
I mean, yes,
for not straight red, but for a second yellow.
Muscly Traore.
Yes.
They could have called a second.
Tall defender Traore, number 6.
Was it?
Yeah, number 6.
Oh,
number 6.
Yeah.
They're defender Traore.
Buster Rhymes, New School.
Right.
Leaders of the New School era.
Fuck,
Buster
when you
Rhymes.
said that, it was all I could see after you said that. Fuck
It's just another case of that old
But no, you're right. Like
PTA.
they didn't want to do it because it was like the second minute of the second half, and they were like, well, you know. But like, no, that could have been a second yellow.
All over the track, man.
It could have been a second
Whereas
yellow.
When I saw Muscly Traore, I have not watched a single Wolves game this year. So I thought he was still at Barcelona. It turned out that was a loan.
That was a loan.
I was confused about that.
Because I was like,
he did fuck all there.
I thought that motherfucker was at Barcelona. So I was like, well, I guess shit didn't work out at Barcelona.
Yeah.
And now his fucking fullback size ass is right back in, and he's pretty much, he reminds me a lot of Zaha. He just has no end product. He can get past people, but crossing, scoring. I mean, if you
Zaha does have end product, but he does not. You're spot on. Because that's why he didn't work out at Barcelona. Because Rafinha has end product.
Yep.
He can score. He can create. Adama will get there and then shit the bed.
Just be like, blarp.
And he's still relatively. I think he's still somewhat young, so maybe he'll get there one day. Because let me tell you something. If he has end product to his game, he's gonna be fucking unstoppable.
Because he's huge.
He's a fucking
rugby player.
And every time he's asked about it, he says, "Oh, I don't really lift weights."
That is not fucking possible.
Bullshit, my guy. Bullshit, my guy. Bullshit.
There's no
and
fucking
Houston
bullshit.
rappers don't do scissor.
Yeah.
I mean, come the fuck on.
Fucking.
He's bigger than your standard NFL.
And I'm a white guy from Canada.
Yeah. I mean, he's absolutely a rugby player without question.
And also, I mean, it's not just his arms; his legs are.
He's jacked as fuck, and also he's like greased up all the time.
Yeah, well, he does do that on purpose so that when people
can't
grab his
on
arms,
him. Yeah, like a boxer getting Vaseline on his eyebrows, I guess. But no, I mean he's jacked as fuck. But okay, so I guess where I was going with all that is that I feel like this January maybe we break the rule of we only sign guys we want to keep here long term. Like I feel like
Right, no more stopgaps. No more stopgaps.
Well, but no, I mean, like, it's not so much that. It's like actually we might use a stopgap this year, because that's when I was going with the midweek game. Is that we obviously need another midfielder in case something happens long term to Xhaka and or Partey. I feel like this is the year we might loan a guy.
So is this Miller?
This is Pacifico.
Pacifico. No, it's not. It better be.
So, with that being said, are you telling us that you don't have confidence in Sambi Lokonga?
No.
Okay. So, is that you're saying we should have we seen the best of Sambi Lokonga and it's time for us to move on?
Well, I don't think we've seen the best of him. I think he's got potential.
I think we need someone else to fill the void on the run
Yes.
to possibly winning the title this year, and
He's not-
Lakonga
yeah.
stays in the fold
He's
and
not ready yet.
develops.
He's not ready for that yet.
Joey said, "Best of you," and my brain went, "I've got a confession to make.
I'm your fool.
Yeah.
Everyone's got the chains to break. Holding you. Listen, I'm of the Eddie Nketiah school of thought where Sammy needs to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
and get on with it."
He needs to shut the fuck up.
Get on with it.
Put your head down.
For all we know,
Eddie,
he has. I don't know.
Yeah, and Eddie.
And we still don't
I've
know.
never seen that side of Eddie that I saw in the doc.
Yeah,
Because in the
Was
press,
he
he
the only one
said
saying? Yeah.
Eddie's got that 1,000 megawatt smile, and he
Yeah.
says all the right things in the press.
In the
He's
doc,
in
he's
the
like,
cafeteria,
"I'm
he's
pissed
like,
too, bitch."
He's like, "Sammy, you shut the fuck up, man."
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
"Oh shit, Eddie.
All right.
My fault. I didn't know you rolled like that, my guy."
Yeah.
Respect.
God damn it.
And then Sammy shut right the fuck up too when he said that shit.
Dave is pointing at us near Chip, and that just means disaster.
no.
I hope
Oh, no.
that shit doesn't get
I am
too
so
solid.
happy it's Saturday night and
Not Sunday.
right.
Yeah.
Because if this
No
was
kidding.
Sunday, like,
Imagine if you had to fucking work tomorrow.
oh,
I've
Fuck
been there,
that.
done that. It's
Fuck
not
that.
fun.
yeah, it is. And when you're 24, you can pull it off, but
Not when you're old like us.
So, what I wanted to talk about was Ben White, because Ben White was mostly
Oh, you mean World Cup Benny?
World
Yes.
Cup Benny, who
I'm trying to get that to gain some traction.
I do worry because he
Hashtag.
pulls up his shorts a lot. We see that brace on his right hamstring, and I do worry about him. He's one of those guys that he gets hurt from mileage. And
Yeah.
I worry about, like, we put mileage on because he is a center back by trade.
Yeah.
And he's arguably as good as any right back out there.
But yeah, he has to do more work, more running.
Right.
Yeah.
At
Like,
that
he
position,
is-
yes.
He's I'm so distracted.
Michigan is trying to do a thing.
Yeah, they're like
Singing
singing
their, singing their
Yeah,
stupid
yeah.
fucking fight song. They're fucked. Oh,
So Ben White,
I hope they lose.
It's Nebraska. They will not.
I hope still.
He made a couple long passes that I didn't like today. However, for the most part, in particular in the first half, where Wolves would win the ball and hit us on the counterattack, and Ben White was on his horse.
Yeah.
And he's got pace, man.
Because
He had
Saliba was out
recovery.
of position on a lot of those, and he had to
Yeah.
rush back and cover that.
Yeah, he's got deceptive pace.
Right.
World Cup Benny. He's because he looks like that standard English. I think he's a little bit more fit and a little bit more fit than most
That would be
English.
a great
big
rapper
center backs.
name.
A little more
Coming
fit.
on to World Cup, Benny.
No, Standard English.
Standard. I like that. Fuck.
Featuring Standard English.
Featuring standard English.
And this guy that just says,
I don't
This
think
says
you got the
cunt a
facilities
lot.
for that, big man.
so he made some,
None of us have the facilities.
he
to be
made some
called
bad
that.
passes, but there were a lot of points, but he was almost voluntold to be the TAA of our he was lobbing a lot of crosses in, a lot.
Yeah,
Like,
he got involved with the attack today more so than I think he
Like
usually would.
overlapping runs and everything.
Yeah.
he is. It's going to be wild because one day Gabriel's probably going to go out with an injury, or Saliba, and he'll be back at center back.
Where he was one of our best players last year.
Because
Everyone's forgotten
This
that,
is
I
why
feel
we're investing in versatility.
And I think about this a lot. If it's a cup final, all right, let's say we're in the FA Cup final against, heaven forbid, I'll just say Man United. Sure. Well, let's not even talk about left back, but center back pairing in a cup final. Do you put Tomiyasu at right back, and then in the middle, do you put Ben White and Saliba, Ben White and Gabriel? Who are those three?
It's a good. Before we even try to answer this, what a great problem to have.
Yeah.
Right.
What
Yeah.
a great problem. And
Yeah.
I'm not stalling. I'm gonna do my best to answer it. But what a great problem that we have so many guys that can legitimately be top tier at this position that we're like, who's our best? Like they're all so good. You know what I mean?
Ben White is so good at right back.
Yeah.
Well, and it's
How can we take him from there?
I feel like a lot of it.
Only Reece James displaces
It
him.
depends on who you're playing, because if you've got like guys that are trying to lump in crosses and stuff,
Yes.
you're going to want Gabrielle in there and Tomiyasu because of the size. But if you're not, if you're playing like a team that wants to drive up the middle, then Ben White in the middle maybe makes a little more sense. Like,
I feel like Saliba would be the one taken out because he's young, he might be more prone to typical young man mistakes.
I've looked at a couple.
That might be considered a hot take by some.
Okay.
I think if we play in a cup final, okay, rewind. I think that we will play in a cup final this year, at least one, if not potentially two.
Won't be the Carabao Cup.
It won't be the Carabao Cup, but I think it would be. I think could potentially be the FA Cup because we all know who owns that competition,
and possibly Europa,
and possibly
the
Europa.
Cup, yeah.
And listen, I know there's some big name teams that have dropped down into Europa.
Barcelona dropped down for a reason.
Yeah,
they're shit.
They're shit.
Well, it's all blue chip in there.
Hey, come get some. Come fucking get some. Right now, the way we're playing, come get some. And I think it will be. I think it will be the partnership that we've been going with all year. I think it'll be Gabriel and Saliba, and I think Ben White will play right back, no matter how healthy Tomiyasu is.
Right.
Because why should we drop those people? Let me double check this, but I think as of right now we have the best defense in the league. We do. We have the best defense in the league. That was Tom. That was not Ryan this time. You'll see that on video.
That was me auditioning for Black Dahlia Murder.
We have the best. We have the best defense in the league based on goals allowed, and we're tied with one other team. Who is that other team?
Fewest goals allowed?
Yeah.
Newcastle.
Oh, I would not have guessed.
They're going to be a fucking problem by the way. This year.
Right. They need, if they have one more,
they're going to be a fucking problem.
If they get themselves a world-class goal scorer, if they get fucking Victor
Almiron's
Osimhen,
doing that now though.
If they get
they have Alexander Isak, who started off kind of really hot. I think it might take a little bit of time for him to kind of sort of acclimate himself.
What if they get Victor? What if they get Victor from Napoli?
They're gonna be. It's gonna be guaranteed Champions League for them every subsequent year.
Because Napoli, as far as I'm aware,
and I think Chelsea and Liverpool.
If you table the money,
they'll take it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's how they. What's their chairperson's name? De Laurentiis. Aurelio De Laurentiis. That's the chairperson. He. I mean, look at Higuain and look at Edinson Cavani. Look how many good players have come through Napoli.
Yeah.
If you show up with a fucking Brinks truck, stroke the check.
To me, the all-time greatest footballer in the history of football came from Napoli or via Napoli, whatever.
What, Maradona?
Yeah, Maradona.
He's your number one of all time.
Because here's what I tell anybody that's
he's won a World Cup.
A Pele apologist. How many
a Messi apologist?
Well, A, Messi doesn't have a World Cup, and B,
there you go.
Maradona, he did as much coke and alcohol where Ozzy would be like, "Fuck me, mate, he's done a lot of fucking coke." And if he lived, imagine if Maradona lived the lifestyle of Cristiano minus the rape and all that.
Sure.
Like we're talking sports science with nothing but.
Like if he was as committed as Cristiano Ronaldo, holy shit!
Because
destruction.
And I know a lot of I find this on Twitter.
If Messi was as has the mentality of Ronaldo, because Ronaldo is the guy that's really worked for everything he's got. He does more work than everybody else. Messi is sort of God-given sort of talent. You know what I mean? And that's why I always say, give me Ronaldo. I prefer Ronaldo of the two of them. Give me the guy that pretty much is equal to you on stats and stuff, but has the mentality of he's got that Kobe sort of mentality.
Just the
listen, I don't care if I'm considered the best or not. Even if I am considered the best, you're not going to outwork me. You're not.
But Maradona,
I'm reminded of the Jay Will story.
I always pick Maradona. Two reasons. Number one, when he won his first World Cup, no one can name a single one of his fucking teammates.
Right.
Yeah.
So Pelé, Brazil,
Socrates, Rivaldo,
Zico, so many names, so many names. Maradona,
they were all top quality guys.
Yes. So, also 86, the greatest goal I've ever seen in my life. I know this is going to enrage anyone that's from England. I get it. But despite the handball, that coast-to-coast goal, it is, for a guy that has a diet of alcohol and cocaine, because the best that Messi ever did, he had a goal against, I think it was Getafe or something like that, and they said they compared to Maradona, and so your league goal is compared to a goal against England in the World Cup, where it matters. And he carried that team. And also played in multiple World Cup finals, not just one. And I get it. When Germany won against Argentina, Messi had one that fizzed past the post. He's had a bit of bad luck, but he's had some great teammates. I mean, he's got Carlos Tevez and Angel Di Maria, and then just
Aguero.
Right, so many players.
So their attacking talent was just.
Who's a better striker?
Yeah.
Who's a better striker in the history of the English league? You know, and I don't want to get into Thierry Henry or Alan Shearer. Fucking Kun Aguero, you put him in any fucking league in the world. He's banging in goals.
Is legitimately top 3 ever in the Premier League.
So it was you
and I think he's right behind those other guys.
And you still couldn't beat fucking, Thomas Müller and
For Christ.
But again, that Germany team was, and again,
it was a great team.
It's just the definition of the word fucking team, dude.
Well, the way they destroyed Brazil.
Schürrle crosses it to Mario Götze. Mario Götze, who's going, by the way.
Yeah, at
holy
age 72.
Shit.
Show them you're better than Messi is what, who was it? Was it Joachim Löw?
Yeah. Mr. Nose Picker,
No, ball sniffer, not nose picker, ball sniffer.
No, he did both. That guy's fucking gross.
Both? Jesus Christ.
He's fucking gross, dude.
I remember the ball sniffing. I don't remember the nose picking. Jesus.
Somebody told us called it the booger hooker. So the guy constantly has a booger hooker on display.
Oh no!
No, that dude was nasty.
It is crazy to consider that Germany team and how they're stacked. So many guys, internationals, and the guys that score the goals, they pull off Mesut Ozil, and here comes Andre Schürrle and Götze. And I was like, Götze, oh my goodness! I guess we're gonna get one on the floor. We'll get one on the floor. And then wow. Yeah. We've all seen the goal.
Can we have just a 2-second moment of silence for Marco Reus?
Yeah.
This guy cannot catch a fucking break when it comes to playing for Germany at an international tournament. I'm relatively sure he would have captained this team. This
probably.
Year. Yeah. If he
massive talent, and he will probably
so good. One of my favorite German players. I love this dude. And as does Tom, I support Borussia Dortmund. That's my German team of choice. I'm so appreciative of him that he never took the money and went to Bayern or went elsewhere. He stayed loyal. He didn't do a Lewandowski or a Götze or Max Hummels. All those guys went to Bayern.
He went to Mönchengladbach for a bit, and then they brought him back.
Yeah. But he was because he came from there, didn't he? And then he went on loan, I think, for a bit.
Well, I mean, Mönchengladbach, Dortmund, it's all like this one big mass.
Yeah.
It's kind of like,
Liverpool and Southampton.
Well, I was thinking more like Dallas. Like, you got Arlington and Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
Metro Worth.
And Irving and all those.
Yes. Yeah. Plano. It's all, it's a 20-minute bus ride.
Yeah.
And with Marco Reus, I remember on the airplane there watching this documentary and him, pointing at he played on this gravel park, which I don't know if Americans have that. It was this really, really fine gravel that German kids, and I saw that, I was like, holy shit, I remember we had that. So it wasn't even grass. It was these industrial towns, they didn't even have time for grass. They were like, we're going to have this gravel.
Like the really fine gravel?
Yes. And it's
if you can play on that, you get on the field, you're going to touch it past everybody.
And, he is Dortmund through and through, much like my all-time favorite, Mr. Derna Thrower, Großkreuz.
Me?
No, me.
Oh, I was like,
but it is a damn
I did
shame.
a little bit, but I kind of
because
away.
he also, and we may have brought this up before, not to talk about anyone other than Arsenal again, but when Bayern went up against Dortmund, I think it was 2016?
The Champions League final?
2014, 2013?
Are you talking about the Champions League final?
Yes.
Yeah, it was 13. I think.
Dante put his boot right on, I think it was Marco Reus.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Dortmund should have won that final.
They really should have. That was Lewandowski and Royce at the height of their powers. And because I also support Real Madrid in Spain because fuck Barcelona. But when they beat Real Madrid over the course of 2 legs, like 5-1, 4-1 or 5-1, I was like, wow. I think these guys are going to win the fucking championship.
Yeah.
That is, and
the talent they had, because I think at that time they had Mats Hummels, Marco Reus, Lewandowski.
Yep.
They had all those guys.
Blazkowski.
They had the Bender twins, or the brothers.
Yeah.
Sven and the other one.
Lars.
They had such
Lars.
Sven
I
and
think
Lars.
I want to say Lars was always at Bayer Leverkusen.
At Leverkusen? Okay,
Yeah.
so they definitely had Sven, though.
The both of them.
Did they have Nuri Sahin on loan at that point? They had a really
Sahin,
super squad. Super squad.
Is it Sahin or Shaheen?
Shaheen.
I don't know.
But they had, it was Blazkowski.
Yeah, Kuba.
What was the right back?
Kevin Grosskreutz.
Well, No, the other
guy
Polish,
you love, huh?
The Polish right back.
Oh, you mean the Polish right back?
Oh my God, this is gonna kill me.
Marcel Schmelzer?
No,
This is now the Richmond Bundesliga podcast.
He was a left back.
Left back, yeah, you're right.
Oh God.
Today on remembering some dudes.
I can usually come up with this shit though.
Because
He was Polish?
yes, because I mean the team
It
was
ends
stacked.
in ski.
Or off. It was
All right,
because
it's
the whole
gonna
team
bother me now.
because it was Lewandowski up front, Jakub Blaszczykowski, who they call Kuba,
Yeah.
and then oh God, I want to say the right back with another guy named Jakub something.
You're right. No, it was Lucas Piszczek.
Piszczek!
Lucas Piszczek.
Yes,
We
thank
have
you.
solved
And
the mystery.
I did not have to look it up. I was on my way to it. I did not
I
have
hope
to.
everyone else was also just aching.
Just
in
aching to see it.
anticipation.
I know what it
In
is.
Anticipation.
Tell these drunk people who it is. Tell them. Tell them.
You recognize the name because we had Lukas Fabianski on our team.
Lucas Podolski.
And Lucas Podolski. Well, that was a different Lucas. This is Lukasz.
Piszczek.
Lukasz.
Piszczek was a bad motherfucker.
He was
man.
good. He was good. Yeah, because Marcel Schmelzer was the left back.
And he was arguably the worst player on that team. And that's not saying he's bad.
Yeah.
It's just that team was so good. And,
That team was great.
And yeah, goals scorers, I'm still a huge fan of his.
Jakub Blaszczykowski was. He had so much pace.
Yes.
Holy shit, he was
All
fast.
of them.
Yeah.
That team was.
They killed you with pace, and that was Royce at the height of his powers because he had pace and supreme technical skill too. And Lewandowski didn't need to have pace. You know what I mean?
That team deserved to win the European
They did.
Cup. That it is unfair that Bayern won it because
Not more so than 2006 Arsenal, but they did deserve it to win.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
2006 Arsenal, because that Dortmund team will be a team that's looked at as they overperformed because they had Klopp as a coach, and that Arsenal team is looked at like
Like
they really should have won a European Cup. You know?
Thanks, Jens.
Yeah. Fucking Magians. I
mean,
don't even want to. I'm gonna get
we're-
emotional. It's a happy day today. We're where
It's
we
a
want
good
to
day.
be.
And it is. So, like, this it was funny because
We got to drag this on until Tom comes back.
Yeah,
please.
Tom had to piss like the worst possible. I was
Yeah.
literally getting ready to fire the
Nope,
outro, and Tom's like,
nope,
I
we
gotta
gotta-
tap out. It's like,
Yeah,
all right,
we
old
gotta
man
keep it going.
bladder. All right, fine. So,
I do want to. Oh, go on. Sorry.
No, so lost my train of thought.
Well, while you get it back, I do want to talk about something.
What a surprise! Go for it.
We are. Fuck you, man. I got a lot to fucking say. If you want to hurt it and limping around your house, I could have gotten this out in weeks past.
And yet we're back in business. So here we go.
So, I want to talk about the importance of us scoring as many goals as possible to chip away at the difference in goal difference between us
Because
and
you know
Manchester
Holland is
City.
going to drop another 30 in the back half of the season.
Listen, first game coming back, he's going to score fucking 5 goals.
No, I saw a tweet today. It's like he went to go plug into his hyperbaric chamber and recharge his battery for 6 weeks.
He's
And
going to come back.
God fear the Premier League when he returns.
He's going to come back on a 99% charge. And I don't want what I said earlier to be mistaken for me not respecting him or not loving his game. Boy, do I love watching him
Jesus is
play.
just better for us.
Yeah, better for
right
us.
now.
And I think he's a better quote-unquote team player. But Erling Haaland is so fun to watch play, man. And he's so good. And he has no right to have that amount of pace for as fucking big as he is.
Yeah, 6'6".
He has
Looks
no
like
right.
one of the bad guys from Beer
Yeah,
Fest,
yeah.
and yet here we are.
He looks like a fucking Rocky V villain, but he has no right to be that fast. And I feel like he's going to come back firing on all cylinders. So Man City lost by 1 goal today. Both losses have been by 1 goal.
Yeah.
They lost to Liverpool 1-0. They lost to Brentford 2-1. Right?
Yeah.
So as it stands right now, we're on 37 points. They're on 32, but they have a 26 goal difference to our 22 goal difference. They were like 11 ahead of us, 10 or 11 ahead of us.
We're chipping away.
We're chipping away.
Haaland was getting a hat trick every week.
Yeah, 2 or 3 goals every
And
fucking
then he got
week.
hurt, and now we're here. So
He got hurt, and then the games that he's quiet, I keep saying it, they're gonna drop
But
points.
I don't feel like, honestly. I mean, yes.
By
Like,
the way, Newcastle, we have 33 goals scored. They have 29. We've both given up 11 goals.
Yeah.
Our goal difference is 4 ahead of them. Yet they're in 3rd. I'm telling you, they're a good team.
My thing is that
They're drawing too many games, that's it.
Well, like I'm all about scoring as many goals as we can. I'm glad that we're back on the clean sheet train.
Yeah.
Like Ramsdale had a rough first like 8 games. You know, there were just like little, and part of that was like mistakes in front of him. I'll give him that.
But now we have more clean sheets than anybody else. I'm
Right.
pretty sure.
Like,
yeah.
we that to me, like scoring the goals. Yes, good. I want to score goals.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Keeping
Orbinho
clean sheet is
stat?
just as important as
Right,
that.
and I feel honestly
I
more
got
so.
you.
You see that quite possibly the best Orbino stat of the last month or so. Arsenal had the fewest touches. Arsenal defenders had the fewest touches in the entire league.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
That's saying something like our defense, because typically, I want to say...
And we don't dilly-dally typically in defense also.
Right, and I want to say that the players that are who have the most touches in a game are typically either Gabriel or Ben White. So for us to have that, and also that our defense has the fewest touches, that's saying something.
Yeah. It's saying two things.
We have
One,
7 clean sheets, and Newcastle has 7.
right.
We're tied.
One is saying that our defensemen, our defensive players are
Defense.
That's this hockey?
Yeah.
Look, it's winter.
Oh, he had a clean. He had I don't know, like scratching and what's all.
So healthy scratch.
Healthy
Anyway,
scratch, yeah.
My point being, number
Coach's
one,
decision scratch.
Number
yeah.
one, they're decisive with the ball. Number two, I think that also plays to our midfield and even attackers coming back and doing more
Yes.
in our
Yes.
third. You know,
Team defending.
yeah.
Yes, good
So
point.
it's great on both regards, but like it's this is not a season where our back four are gonna have to bail us out as much as they maybe had to in the past.
Hang on, there's one thing I wanted to bring up before we end it. I know you had
Well,
your
I was
hand
ready
on
to push you before you had to go.
Ryan's
piss.
trying to fucking push us out of here, man. Hey, Tom, say what you got to say, bro.
Look, we're hour
Take your
plus,
time,
but
my
do your
friend.
thing.
For
Take your
all
time.
I want to bring us all in this. For all the haters listening out there that say that we're going to choke it off in the spring, here's why Arsenal's going to lose, blah, blah, blah. I want us all to say at least one reason why Arsenal is going to win. I'm going to go, I have 3 reasons why Arsenal's going to win the title. All right. Number 1, City is going to continue to drop points against good teams. Number 2, Gabriel Jesus is going to start scoring goals. He's not right now, and not for lack of effort. It's going to come together. Number 3, Ben White.
All right.
Ben White defends. Ben White by May, Ben White will be like AC Milan 1970s, those type of.
Yeah.
I think Ben White is gonna. I think he could potentially. I'm just gonna say it. I think he's gonna make the Premier League 11 this year. I think he might make the Premier League 11.
Because Reece James, I know, and Chelsea fans are going to.
He's hurt, and so I think that spot is up for the taking.
That's fine.
And Trent ain't gonna have it. It's gonna be probably between Trippier and Ben White.
Yeah.
And I think Ben White's gonna, especially if Arsenal win the league this year, I think Ben White's gonna take it. Now Newcastle might have something to say about that, but do you have? What's your reasoning?
So here's one. Bukayo Saka is going, like the rest of the team is going to create enough havoc that Saka is going to be opened up and unleashed. I think he's going to start producing more than he has, and I think that, especially in the several weeks that we're going to have off, and I think the plan was Arteta said they're going to get like 10 or 12 days off, and they're all going to meet in Dubai for warm weather training. Like they're going to figure out ways. Like I don't remember what the exact quote was, but there was like a question about like how can you prevent Saka from getting clattered so much, and they're going to figure that out. So I feel like Saka is going to produce more than he has. That's going to be a big deal.
He's already been doing good. People say this is a down season for him, but he's been doing great.
But he's going to start landing goals.
Yeah.
I think he's going to start landing goals. I think another one is I'm going to say Partey stays healthy all year. And Partey with a year where he can like stay healthy, and like he is arguably our most important player in the middle of the pitch.
He is.
Like him and Xhaka together still like that's our best midfield too, but Partey of the two of them is still more
without
important.
Partey is like Gus is without Katie.
Yeah, pour one out. She's wrenching in back pain.
It's like Puff with no mace.
Well, there you go. And if I had to pick a number 3, I would say Ramsdale goes on a run of three or 4 or 5 games where he's very critical.
Ramsdale is going to be. It's kind of crazy that he is still very, very underrated.
Yeah, he really is. And he should be starting.
He could be the number 1. He's not going to be.
Southgate trusts Pickford, so that's probably what we'll go with. But he should have the 1 shirt. He's been the best keeper in the year in the league statistically, and also based on eye test, in my opinion.
Who is English? Yes.
Who is English? The best keeper available to Southgate.
Yeah. All right, what do you got, Joe?
Well, he's also been one of the best. If you ask me, both Pope and Ramsdale have been better than Pickford.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Because Pope and Ramsdale are the spearhead of the 2 best defenses in the league that are both tied for number 1.
Yeah. And the top 2 teams in the league on points.
Bang. So it's on me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 1. Number 1 is our defense and our team defending. I think we'll end the year with the best defense in the league based on goals scored, and I think that will be maybe the biggest reason that we win the title. Number two, because I truly believe that we are the best team in the league. Not the best collection of players.
Great point.
Because there are one or two teams that have players that might be more talented than some of our players in multiple positions.
But the way we're built together.
But the way we're built together and the way we perform together, and that comes down to coaching, which means I would believe that we'll also have the manager of the season at the end of when the season is over with. Number three, because I believe that when we play City at the Emirates, we will win. If we beat City one time in this year in the league, we will win the league. If we take 3 points off of them in the league, we will win. And I think we will do that at the Emirates. I think we'll have a chance to go to their house and do it, but I definitely think that we will win the game at the Emirates. And if we do, I believe we will win the league.
Well, because we still have the only away win against the Big Six.
Correct.
In the season, so there's no reason to think we don't do it.
That was us against Chelsea last week.
Right. And then, Big Six.
Yeah, when Big Six play each other, the home team wins or take the home team wins.
But at this point, you look at Big Six, and honestly, like teams like Newcastle are in there.
Yeah, I think Newcastle
is in there. I want to say
about it.
Not Brighton is sixth. Yeah, so
I think Newcastle's got something to say.
They do. And you look at Liverpool, kind of flounder. I mean, they had a good game today against their B squad in Southampton.
Yeah, but I mean,
you look at Chelsea
scored first. And Liverpool scored, I think, 3 unanswered.
Yeah, and Chelsea is kind of floundering. United is still doesn't have a distinct direction. Yeah. So, the definition of Big Six is kind of its own thing right now.
And in my season predictions on my personal podcast, King Joey podcast, check it out. Sorry to fucking plug my shit on
Tom and I don't have our own podcast. Sorry.
But I said that I thought this year was going to be sort of the pre-year for Newcastle gate crashing. I thought they were preparing to gate crash next year.
They're ahead of schedule.
That's gone.
Yeah.
Us and them are both ahead of schedule. We're gate crashing the top of the league, and they're gate crashing the European spots hard. Newcastle.
They're only 2 points behind City. I want to say right now.
They're going to be a fucking problem this year. Trust me on that.
As all the pundits wanted to say, Newcastle behind last year's champions who are currently in second place.
By only X points. Now add 5 to that, and then they're on the losers.
And Newcastle's going to be spending money in January.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
In the summer.
And they're going to get someone that's crucial, someone that's going to add a lot of value. It's not just going to be like, okay, we're going to sign possibly this guy Danilo, and he's a prospect.
Yeah.
Newcastle's
they're going to get somebody ready to go now.
No. They're going to sign like they're Van Dijk. Although, who's the big fucking English? Dan Burn? He's been excellent.
Oh, for them.
Yeah, for them. Trippier's been excellent. They're buying. That's the type of established name that they're going to. Trippier was at Atletico Madrid, and he was doing really well for them. I think they won a league title when he was there, if I'm not mistaken. But I think they're going to buy.
To win a title in the
bingo. I think they're going to buy
Bale in the MLS last year.
I think they're going to buy their
fucking. Don't count. You know they don't count.
So I think they believe in Isak, but I think they're going to buy their fucking 2017 Van Dijk. I think they're going to buy that.
Well, the other thing that Newcastle has right now is St. James Park is rocking again.
Absolutely. Right.
Like, that's one of the louder stadiums in the league.
And that's a great ground, too. People don't realize that's like the third biggest ground, I think,
and you've got those really high stands, and everyone's really close to the pitch, and it's one of those places when it's going, it's going.
And the building looks so fucked up because it's been renovated 19 times. So the one stand is huge and the one stand is little. But
and there's no scoreboard.
Really?
So everyone knows what
you got to just know that. Yeah, you got to know the score. Yeah, absolutely.
Very old school like that.
I really can't begrudge Newcastle supporters. They've been waiting a long time for their team to get back, and they have such a large supportership.
Oh, sure,
right. To your point, this is one of those things that a lot of people that you get your obnoxious users on Twitter. Small club, finish club, small club, finish club. They insult Newcastle all the time, not realizing that population-wise, Newcastle is definitely top 5.
Yeah.
Your average, 14-year-old in, some country that starts with an A is going to go like the biggest clubs are Real Madrid, Man United, and Barcelona.
Bayern,
and not know that clubs like Celtic and Newcastle have a shitload of fans.
Celtic has a huge fan base.
Massive. Everyone with their last name that ends in A-G-H or starts with MC is fucking Celtic.
Yeah.
And you have a handful.
Assuming you're Catholic.
Yeah. Right. And you have some that are, converted. But my point being, not everyone chooses their team because they're good. People come from massive fan bases that don't have a lot of titles.
Yeah.
I respect the shit out of Newcastle for having a massive fan base. Leeds is up there. Aston Villa, same thing.
Yeah. Well,
massive fan base.
What none of us respect is how Newcastle.
Aston Villa is bigger than fucking Chelsea. The only reason Chelsea is anything is because some fucking
dickhead
from Russia.
Dickhead fat.
Yeah. And now they got a dickhead that went to William and Mary.
Yeah.
And no one knows how to pronounce his last name. Bowley.
What is it?
Todd Bowley.
Boehly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how do you pronounce it? I would say Bowley.
It's Bowley.
Okay.
I pronounce it dickhead.
Yeah, it is dickhead, man.
He's also Todd.
Dickhead fat.
Yeah.
Have you ever met anyone named Todd that was cool?
I mean, I've never met a Todd, so I couldn't tell you.
My best man at my wedding is his twin brother's name is Todd.
Was he a dickhead?
Yes.
Well, there you
I
go.
know one Todd that's cool, but he's the exception that proves the rule.
I like Inspector
There's always
Todd.
one.
The first Beverly Hills Cop movie, Inspector Todd.
Oh, shit.
LL Cool J is James Todd Smith.
That's
I don't know
right.
if that counts.
Well, that's all right. That's fair. That's fair. I mean, that's a last name situation.
I learned some.
But anyway, yeah.
We're gonna keep going.
We're at an hour 10, give or take my fuck up. But anyway, so that's about as good as we could have done.
We are top of the league. Said we are top of the league.
Hey, so there you go.
We are top of the league. Said we are top of the league.
So yeah, we got a long-ass international break coming up, but the next action will actually be Boxing Day at home against West Ham. I want to say it's a later day kickoff. So come out and join us at Gus's Bar and Grill. In the meantime, enjoy the World Cup if you choose to do so. If not, that's your business. But until then, I am Ryan here with Tom.
Hello.
And with Joey.
The tingo scooter up.
There you go.
Ka.
Blah, blah.
Skitty pop and a
Boom. Hey, yo, happy Thanksgiving, dickhead. I was waiting for